Hi everyone, welcome to MSUNN Yoga and Wellness. I'm Dr. Melissa and I'm really excited that you're here today, especially if you are frustrated and just tired of dealing with knee pain while you're running. Maybe you're just gonna deal with it, or maybe you're gonna kind of stop running. I'm here to tell you that you can get rid of pain with these 5 exercises that I've used with hundreds of my clients to get them back on their running game. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe and notification button. It really helps the channel out and I appreciate that. And you're gonna wanna make sure you stick around till the very end because I have a special bonus for you that will just help up that running game even more. Before we get started, you might wanna grab 2 things. If you don't have them, no worries at all. Tennis ball, lacrosse ball, anything about this size, and then either a yoga block, a pillow. If you have a foam roller, that would work as well. So go grab those, grab your mats, and let's do this. All right, let's get right into it. You could be having knee pain for a number of different reasons, but what I've seen it come down to with most of my clients is gonna be either how you're breathing and your alignment, and getting those 2 things to optimize so you can have the best performance out there while you're running. And we're gonna talk about those a little bit today when I'm showing you the exercises, but I'll also put a link down below to 2 videos I have that go into more depth on that information if you wanna check that out. When you can work on your breathing and getting your alignment, it's not necessarily that this muscle's weak and that muscle's weak and you have to do this. These exercises we're gonna go over today, you might have to do about 8 or 10 of them on each side. And it's all about getting our whole system to work efficiently. And then we'll translate that to when we're standing and when we're out running. So these are small little things that you can add in throughout your day to make a really big difference. So first one we're gonna do is working on our breathing as well as differentiating our hips, our pelvis, and our upper body to work on rotations. As runners, me included, I've started to add more rotational exercises in and it's made such a big difference. So we're gonna lay on our backs, getting nice and heavy there, and just take a couple of breaths. You wanna be careful you're not breathing up into your chest because you wanna be using your diaphragm. And yes, your diaphragm is part of your core. Your core is made up of 4 parts: lower abdominals, pelvic floor, deep back stabilizers, and your diaphragm. So just take a nice gentle breath in. Just notice where your breath is going. When you're breathing, you want to take that 360-degree breath into your rib cage. Not a huge breath, just a gentle breath in here. And we're going to use this throughout all of our exercises. So grab your pillow, your smaller ball, maybe your yoga block, and you're just gonna place that in between your knees. We're putting this in between our knees so that it's gonna help activate one of our internal rotator muscles for our hip that attaches onto our pelvic floor. You wanna make sure you're not tucking your butt underneath. I have so many runners that stand with their hips tucked underneath them and you just can't use your whole core system efficiently when you're doing this. So that slight little tilt, very gentle squeeze of that block. Nice breath in. On your exhale, gently bring the legs over towards the left-hand side. And notice what part comes up off the ground on the right side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, head over towards the other side. Gentle squeeze of that ball, block, whatever you got. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, head to the other side. So we're trying to get the low back, our hips and our pelvis to move separately. Firing up that internal rotators. Good. Now we're gonna add on another piece. So when we come back to center, bring those arms up overhead. Reach the elbows towards the ceiling. Gentle squeeze of the ball. We have that slight tilt. Nice breath in. Exhale, the legs go to the left-hand side, elbows come to the right. Inhale, bring it back through to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. So I just want you to keep this up, following that pattern, going back and forth. As you're exhaling, you might feel those lower abdominals kicking on. When you exhale, our diaphragm starts to come up and that's when it pulls on the pelvic floor and our transverse abdominis, that deep stabilizing muscles. So it's about getting this whole system to work efficiently so we can transfer that to when we're running. Good. Just noticing what you're feeling. Make sure the neck and shoulders are nice and relaxed. And again, remember, it's only doing about 8 or 10 of these. It doesn't take very long to get that system fired up. You just want to make sure you're feeling it in those right muscles. Awesome. Okay. So that's the first one. Now we're gonna grab tennis ball, foam roller, lacrosse ball, rad balls, whatever you got. We're gonna work on loosening up the outside of our quad muscle. It's called our vastus lateralis. It comes along the outside of that IT band. You might have heard of IT band syndrome or trying to roll out your IT band. That tissue is super, super thick. You're not gonna be able to roll it out, but what you can do is affect the muscles that attach onto it. There's 3 muscles, and one of them being that vastus lateralis muscle right here. Your transverse, not kidding. There's 3 muscles that attach onto your IT band. We're gonna be working on your vastus lateralis here. Then you have a hip muscle up here called your TFL, and then part of the glutes attach onto that. So if you loosen up those muscles, you can have an effect on that IT band. So we're gonna start with the ball, right knee, just on the outside of that kneecap. You're gonna shift your weight onto that leg, left leg comes up, come down onto those forearms, and you're just rocking up and down till you find one of those spots. And we're breathing here, gentle breath in, little bend, little straighten. You can find about 3 or 4 spots along your thigh. You want to be careful with the rolling because you can overdo it. So if you think, oh, maybe 30 seconds to a minute is great, I'm going to do 10, don't do that. You can make those tissues even tighter by doing this. Nice. Roll down a little bit more. And you're just working your whole way up the outside of your thigh, working on that outside quad muscle, your vastus lateralis. You may find a spot that's a little extra tender. Might be too tender to bend the knee, so maybe you're holding and you're breathing. You may notice that there's a big difference from your left side and your right side, and tending to spend a little bit more time on that side that needs a little extra love. Okay, awesome. Moving on to the left side. So ball comes just to outside of that knee. We're gonna shift our weight onto that ball. The right leg comes out to the side and you come down onto those forearms and you're kind of rolling the outside of that thigh muscle. Whew, find those good spots. And just a little bend and a little straighten. Good, little bend and a little straighten. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely found a side that's a little bit more tender. And again, 30 to 60 seconds each spot. And then you kind of keep it rolling. You can really stiffen the tissues up if you spend too much time there. If it feels like it's too much, you just hold and remember the breathing. Breathe in 360 degrees out into that rib cage. Nice breath in. Good. And then we're working our way down. Nice. Okay. We're gonna take that ball. We're done with those guys. We're moving on to planks. I love planks for runners. We're also going to be incorporating a synergy pattern where we're gonna get our glute med, it's a muscle that's really important for runners, keeps our pelvis even, with our inner thigh muscles. We're gonna start with a side plank. You can come into a full side plank if you want. I'm gonna start down on the knees. Make sure your hips are rolled forward, knees, hips are stacked. That right arm comes underneath you. You wanna make sure you're pressing the hips up towards the ceiling. We're gonna use our breath with this. So on our exhale, I'm gonna talk you through it first. We're gonna press the hips, lift them up, really press the hips up on the exhale, and then take that top knee and push your top knee into that right thigh. Inhale, lower down, relax. Exhale, press the hips, squeeze the knees, and then lower back down. Nice breath in. On that exhale, press the hips up, really reach, squeeze the top knee down. Inhale, lower back down. Awesome, couple more. Press those hips up, exhale, we're squeezing. So it's on that exhale that we're activating those muscles. Couple more times, press, lift up. back down. So these things, 8 or 10 times each side. We're really working on our systems, that neuromuscular transition. This is gonna help those muscles work because they like to work in pairs. We'll do one more here, press, lift up, squeeze together. If you wanna do a couple more, always feel free to hit that pause button and get a couple extras in. Good, and then back down. Now let's switch over to our other side. And you may notice a difference left and right with this as well. Neck and shoulders, nice and soft. We're pressing the whole forearm in, hips, knees stacked. On your exhale, press those hips up, squeeze the knees together, that top knee down, and then lower back down. Press, lift up, squeeze, and then back down. Once you get the pattern down, feel free to pop up, coming into that full side plank. Another option for this, if once you get ready to do the full side plank, it feels too much, pop yourself up against the wall and you can do the same thing at the wall until you're ready to come back down. Exhale, press, lift, and squeeze. See what you're feeling. Are you noticing, is your butt tucking underneath you? Remember, we don't like to butt tuck. So kind of have that small little arch in that back. Exhale, maybe you're feeling lower abdominals, pelvic floor kick on. This right inner thigh, left glute med muscle. Good, one more. Press those hips, squeeze. Awesome, and then come back down. All right, next exercise we're gonna do, we're gonna come into tabletop, still working, breathing into that rib cage, and we're also gonna be working on that rotational patterns. Really important for running. So pressing into those palms. Take your right leg, send your right leg back. Take the top of your left foot, press the top of your left foot into the ground. You're reaching through the back right heel, squeeze that glute. No tucking the hips, that slight little tilts. And then we're gonna take that left arm, reach your left arm out. On your exhale, reach towards that right heel. Inhale, lift, come back up. Exhale, reach. As you're exhaling, twisting, you might feel some of those oblique muscles kicking on. Good. Exhale, rotate and reach. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press and rotate. Inhale, lift. 1 more time. Exhale, twist and rotate. Coming back down, we're just gonna switch sides. So that left leg goes back, press through the heel, tailbone slightly tilted, making sure we're not flaring your rib cage, so gentle tuck underneath. That right arm reaches out in front. Exhale, twist and reach. So that rib cage is really important, especially once we're up and running, and having to use your whole system. That exhale, we rotate. When the ribs are flared, we can't use that diaphragm efficiently, and then you can't use that whole system. Same thing goes for when those hips are tucked underneath. Can't use those glutes. Good, couple more times, and just see if you notice a difference from side to side. Keep pressing out through your back heel. Good, twist and rotate. Come back up. 1 more time. Exhale, twist and rotate. Good, coming back down. We're gonna do 1 more exercise standing, that same type of rotational pattern. I know these exercises are a little different, but it gets you using your whole system, learning how to breathe, how to use your whole core strategy so that it can translate when you're back out there running. I've even started incorporating some of these. It makes the world of difference with running. Okay, front leg, we're gonna take our right leg back. You can have a slightly wider stance, shorter stance. Careful you're not feeling any pain in that knee. If you do, of course, don't do this. Press that heel into the ground. Spread your toes in the front. This is where you want that alignment, so making sure your rib cage, you're not arching back, that your rib cage is soft over your pelvis. Breathing in there. Press into your left heel to feel that left glute. We're gonna take the right arm up. As you reach the right arm, careful to not overextend. Nice and strong in those legs on your exhale. We're gonna rotate. Twist that right hand to your left hip. Inhale, lift, come back up. Exhale, twist and rotate. and bring it back up. Same thing with this exercise. With all the others, you can do 5 to 10, 8 to 10 of them, just to fire up the core. And that core being those 4 things: our diaphragm, transverse abdominis, pelvic floor, and those deep back stabilizers. Good. One more time. Last one. And then let's switch it out. Left leg goes back, right hip's in front. Pull your right hip back, drive that heel to the ground, spread your toes, slight hinge over that front leg. We've got that little tilt in that tailbone. Left arm comes up. Nice, gentle breath in. On your exhale, you're twisting left hand to that right hip. Inhale, bring it up. Careful to not overextend. Bring it back down. Inhale, lift, come back up. Exhale, rotate and twist. Soften your toes in that front leg. Notice what you're feeling moving. Exhale, twist. One more time. Awesome. Take that left foot, step it forward. All right. Hope you enjoyed those 5 exercises that are going to help you get back to running pain-free that I've used with hundreds of my clients. They're a little different than traditional different strengthening exercise because using your whole system as a core. Once you get that breathing and alignment piece down, that's what makes the world of difference. If you're still trying to problem solve or can't quite figure it out, I'm happy to jump on a call with you or shoot me an email if you have any questions. I'll put that information down below. And then you're also going to want to check out part 2 of this series after you've been practicing this for a little bit. That's just going to make those exercises a little bit more challenging and more applicable for when we're upright and running. And if you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up so that I know. And if you're still struggling with something or have other struggles, let me know what they are down below. I'm happy to help out however I can. And of course, how could I forget the special bonus? You are going to want to check that out down below. There is a link to my 7 moves for mobility gains and pain relief that will help up your running game. So until next time, I will catch you later. Happy running and namaste.